Okay, what if I told you that you could smash YouTube's biggest monetization goals in just 5 days? I know, it sounds pretty crazy, right? But there's this new method making the rounds that claims you can do exactly that. So let's get into what this trick is all about, because a lot of creators are talking about it.
So the story behind this whole thing actually starts with this really desperate phone call. This creator, she'd been grinding away for 5 years, and was just in tears. She was getting absolutely nowhere with monetization, her channel felt totally dead, and she was pretty much ready to throw in the towel. And, her story, it's a struggle that literally thousands, if not more, creators are going through right now.
Right, and that whole struggle, it really boils down to two big hurdles that YouTube puts in front of you. And for any new creator, it is a massive climb. But as we're about to see, one of these is, well, it's way tougher than the other.
Okay, so here's the deal. Look at this. You need 1,000 subscribers, which, let's be honest, is already a challenge. But then there's the other number, 4,000 hours of watch time. To put that in perspective, that's 240,000 minutes of people actively watching your stuff. It's just this ridiculously huge number, and it's exactly why creators are constantly looking for, well, for any edge they can get.
And that right there is where this new method enters the picture. Remember that creator from the phone call? Well, she was given this exact technique to try, and the results, they were apparently absolutely explosive.
The whole claim is just wild. It's all about one video prepared in a special way and then live streamed. That's it. And it supposedly gets you across the finish line in just 5 days.
And just look at these numbers. This shows what supposedly happened. From that one single live stream, her video got 115,000 views. That turned into over 6,000 hours of watch time. I mean, completely smashing the 4,000-hour goal. And on top of that, it pulled in 1,700 new subscribers, way more than the 1,000 she needed. So the big question is, how on earth is this supposed to work?
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this thing actually work? Well, it's a really specific 3-step process. Let's walk through it.
Step 1 is all about prep, and you do this before you even touch the YouTube app. The idea is to take a bunch of your finished videos, doesn't matter if they're face cam, voiceover, whatever, and just stitch them all together into one single long video. You're aiming for something that's around 40 to 50 minutes long in total.
Now here is the absolute key, the #1 rule. This is totally non-negotiable. The videos you use must be brand new. They can't have been on YouTube before. Not ever, not even as unlisted or private. The algorithm has to see this as 100% fresh content. Super important.
Okay, so you've got your big video file ready to go. Now it's time for the setup on YouTube. You're going to open the mobile app, tap that little plus icon, and then hit Go Live. But, and this is a big but, don't actually start the stream yet. The settings here are everything.
So here's the checklist you need to follow. First off, and this is going to feel weird, you set the visibility to unlisted. Then you do the usual stuff. Confirm it's not for kids, no age restrictions, but here's the real trick, the secret ingredient. For the stream type, you have to choose screencast. And then you have to make sure it's sharing your entire screen. That part is critical.
All right, this is it, the final, most important part. Get ready. Once your settings are locked in, you hit Go Live. Now remember, it's still unlisted, so nobody's watching. The second you do that, you immediately jump over to your phone's video player and start playing that 40-minute video you made. Then, and this is the magic move, while that video is playing in the background, you hop back into the YouTube app, hit the little pencil icon to edit the stream, and you flip the visibility from unlisted to public. That one action, flipping that switch, is what this whole thing is built on. So, you're probably thinking, why? Why would any of this work? It sounds kind of strange, right? But the whole idea is that you're tapping into something the YouTube algorithm is really focused on right now.
Okay, so the theory is pretty simple. Right now, YouTube is supposedly giving a huge promotional boost to anything that's live. So, by starting a live screencast and then making it public, you're tricking the algorithm into treating your pre-made video like a big live event. It gets all the push, all the reach that a real live stream would get. But, of course, there are some really important rules you have to follow. Now, before you even think about trying this, hold on. The source is very clear about a few warnings and things you absolutely need to have in place. If you mess these up, the whole thing is just not going to work. First and foremost, your channel has to have at least 50 subscribers. If you don't have 50, you can't even use the Go Live feature on your phone, so this whole method is a non-starter right out of the gate.
The source also points out something pretty important. There have been other live stream tricks before, but a lot of them would get channels rejected when it came time for the monetization review. This screencasting thing is supposed to be safer because you're just playing your own new original content. To the review team at YouTube, it just looks more legit.
Okay, so let's just run through that final checklist one more time to make sure we've got it. You need more than 50 subs. Your video content has to be brand new, never seen on YouTube before. The final video has to be between 40 and 50 minutes long, and it can't be silent. It needs a voice, music, some kind of activity. And last but not least, you have to let that whole video play all the way to the end while you're live.
And all of this really brings up a pretty big question, doesn't it? In the world we're in now, what's the real secret to success as a creator? Is it all about making amazing creative content? Or is it more about mastering the system, finding these little loopholes in the algorithm? It's a huge debate, and it really gets to the heart of what it even means to be a creator on the internet today.